We got a new look at some nice concept art of cool looking outfits in Odyssey and way more from the Game Informer coverage. They have the Odyssey month over there, including info about the story, enemy scaling that works slightly different than in Origins, and way more. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. Let's start with those awesome outfits, again shared by Game Informer. They have a month of coverage over on the website and of course the cover story in their magazine. I bought the digital issue and we will of course discuss the new info from that issue, but if you want to read it for yourself, you can totally do that by downloading it on the mobile or PC or whatever. Anyway, going back to Alexios, the cool looking blue set with a hood, and I think there's a cool cape there as well. And if I had to bet, I would say that this is a stealth set, with the other awesome looking armor having more of a ranged look. Because as you probably know, all the gear sets in Odyssey come with an increase for either the hunter, warrior or assassin playstyle, and the hunter sets mostly have a more beast tamer, like more leather look, if you know what I mean. So I love the hood for this one as well, with the sort of bandit mask. I can't wait to see them in the game because of course I would assume that the concept art for these outfits are indeed in the game as well, but you can of course not be sure. So I was talking a little bit about the beast taming, because just like in Origins that is possible via a skill you can unlock, and now we learned that you can also pet the giant bear or lion that will be following you around or of course help you in the fight. You can do that by simply walking up to the animal, so that's a nice touch, and that will of course make for some cool pictures. And we learned thanks to the quick fire questions video from Game Informer that the photo mode will be available at launch. At least that is what the game director believes is the case. As for the story, we now finally learned a little bit more thanks to the Game Informer cover story. Your goal in the game is namely to track down your family, and you start out by doing simple tasks for other people in order to get some money, and that is the footage you see right here from a very early quest where you have to track down some bandits for this lady. You were first a Spartan but got kicked out, and now like doing these small jobs has been your way of surviving ever since. And of course this applies to both Cassandra and Alexios. The Game Informer article goes on to talk about the fact that you have the bloodline of Leonidas and are one of the descendants, and that's probably why you get the Spear of Leonidas as an item to use. And we already knew that you could upgrade this weapon to get access to more adrenaline segments and also to new skills and to be able to upgrade the current skills you have. And now we know how you can upgrade this First Civilization artifact, namely by visiting First Civilization shrines that are hidden across Greece and the surrounding seas. The article notes that both Alexios and Cassandra don't understand what is going on because it gives them the almost godlike abilities. And this is also the reason why Herodotus is sailing with you, because he writes about the insane things you do thanks to this Spear of Leonidas. And if you're not familiar, Herodotus, and I hope I pronounced it right, is an historian in the ancient Greece time period. Finally, some more info about the story. I don't think we knew this before, I at least did not know this. Curious like if the shrines are connected to the story or main quest, or like really hidden that you really have to find them for yourself, because finding them will be crucial to building your character. Also interesting is that the game director would not comment on if this was a Templar origin story, as I already speculated like way before in an earlier video. I mean, we will see, but it would totally make sense as to why this is before Origins, and also looking at the fact that Cassandra and Alexios can just kill innocent people without really facing the consequences. I mean, sure, thanks to the bounty system, a mercenary will still come and hunt you if you kill the innocent, but it seems like Cassandra and Alexios do not really see a problem with killing just random people. Moving on to more Game Informer info, there will be 28 city-states in the game in a 100 square miles world that will be accessible from the beginning, by the way. It was not really clear if this would be the case before. Of course, you will still be killed if you set foot on a land with way higher level enemies than you, just like in Origins. So there will still be some sort of like linear level path through the world, I would imagine. What I learned during my trip to Ubisoft Quebec is that there will be alpha ships that will block your path to certain areas. So you can ignore them or go past them, but it will be really hard. More on that part, by the way, of the naval combat in a deep naval video that will be coming your way soon. I already told you a while back that enemy scaling will be back in Odyssey, this time at the launch, while with Origins it was added in a later update. only from the sound of it, it will work slightly different than in the previous AC game. It seems like this one will always be active and that the enemies will be brought up to close to your level if you go to a zone that is way below your current level. So if you are level 15 and go to a level 5 zone, then the enemies will be automatically matched to up to 2 levels lower than you. While with Origins, they would of course match your current level. This will mean that in Odyssey you will still feel closer in this like lower level area, but it will not be a walk in the park, and that way it will still be fun and challenging. But yeah, I can totally see why you would want to feel extremely powerful as well, so I'm curious to hear if you can switch this off. When I get the chance to ask a developer about this, I will totally try and get the answer. One of the big new things in Odyssey are the romance options, of course, and the game director notes that there will be half a dozen, so that would be 6 in total, and it kinda seems on the low side, especially since we already saw 2 that were on a very small area in the game, and you could complete those romance options like pretty fast. Of course, they were always clear about the fact that these romance options are not that long and just a nice distraction, but still, like, only 4 other characters we haven't seen yet in a 100-hour plus RPG seems not like a lot. The game director also notes that you can romance them all at once, but in the E3 demo we already saw that you had to choose between Kira or Taleta. So maybe it means that if you romance one character you are not like stuck with it for the entire game, but can still romance all the other characters that give that option to you. But yeah, I'm still kind of confused, so again, when I get the chance I will also ask for clarification on this subject. What is cool though, and that we did not know before, is that you can take some of the romance characters with you on your ship, so you can recruit them and then have them by your side when you steal the seas or plunder another ship. Like, don't expect any dialogue with your crewmates or whatever, but it can still be cool to have your old lover with you whenever you want. In a digital issue of the Game Informer, I found this image of a player on a horse, where it was noted that you will be able to purchase a variety of different mounts and that not all of them are horses. While I first thought that the creative director in an AMA on Reddit implied that you only have a horse, so we'll ask about that too. Gamescom is next week, so should have the answers then, but I'm of course all for different mounts. I really like the fact that you had both a horse and a camel in Origins, but what else could they be riding in Agent Grease? Like, I don't know, just throwing it out there, so maybe you know. If you got something, let me know in the comments down below. Totally check out that 107 questions video, I put a link in the description down below. It also has some funny answers and questions, so I recommend that. You can read the full digital issue of the Game Informer for yourself, including some stuff on the mercenaries. I already talked about that previously, that there is like a place in the world where you can go to fight these enemies without like building up a bounty, so they will go and hunt you. I'm really curious to see what this place will look like. Hopefully some sort of pit or an arena or something, that would be really cool. Of course, subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I got some awesome content coming your way really soon. Again, Gamescom is coming up as well, so we'll be playing the game there. Drop a like to support the channel, check out my recent video on a new look at an awesome assassin outfit, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye!